Hello and welcome to Producer Profile. Producer Profile is a show where we showcase some of the talented people who work behind the scenes in the entertainment, business, and local communities while making positive influences on the lives of others.
Welcome to Producer Profile. I'm Stella Winston.
And I'm Jim Hill.
We have a songbird all the way from Memphis, Tennessee, who's also a writer. Her name is Vicki Newsum, and I'd like to welcome you to the show, Vicki.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was just saying, what a wonderful gift. Where did you start? When did you start? Tell us about this.
It is a wonderful gift. That's a key word. It started with church, of course, a typical singer story. And my father's a gospel singer. We have some wonderful old tapes of the two of us doing Come Ye Disconsolate, a version done by Roberta Flack and Donny Hathaway.
Wow.
And that's a little girl. That's before maybe like close to a teenager.
Okay.
And but about 14 or 15, I signed a recording contract with a company called We Produce, which was a subsidiary of Stax Records in Memphis, Tennessee. So I got to run around the studio with, you know, the Isaac Hayes, Sam and Dave, Mavis Staples.
Wow.
So it was quite an education for a little girl.
So you went from gospel to R&B?
R&B.
Okay,
right.
Wow.
And you also sang with some famous jazz artists,
I did.
right?
In Memphis, I worked with Richard Groove Holmes. We worked at a place in Memphis, downtown Memphis, called Blues Alley. Actually, in Blues Alley downstairs was Mom's Mabley. And upstairs, I worked with Groove Holmes and Joe Dukes on drums.
So you say you worked with Mom's Mabley?
Well, she played that. She would be working downstairs in Blues Alley, and I would be in the room upstairs called the classing room with Richard Groove Holmes.
What was she like? Did you ever have any interaction with her?
Just too much fun.
Really?
I mean, just a little bit too much fun. You got loud.
Really?
Yeah, it was really nice. Yeah, I enjoyed
Really?
that experience a lot. So I worked a while with Richard Groove Holmes, and we did different things in the South. And I had an opportunity to work with Honeymoon Garner, who recently died in Memphis. I did some sets with Phineas Newborn in Memphis. And here in New York, I worked with Carlos Garnett. It's been fun. It's been a journey, and quite a learning experience with different big artists.
But your journey, I just want to try to get into that. Does it come from pain? Does it come from soul? Does it come from, where does this, I mean, what's the key in you?
It's changed.
Okay.
Yeah, it really has. Early on, I'm sure that as a teenager, it was about, you know, being a teenager from hell, trying to run away and get out of the house and hang out and sneak in. And so, but my dad was pretty on top of all that. He was in the nightclubs with me. And I would say now it's really very personal.
Personal.
Yeah, it's literally nourishment. It's like do or die.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really
What do you prefer?
Big in my life, singing.
Yeah, what do you prefer, the R&B or the jazz?
I like mixing the two.
Okay.
I really do. I think that even with the jazz, I bring in a R&B feel. I mix the two, and I love that.
Now we're going to hear a song by you. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm too ready.
Let's do that.
This is My Funny Valentine.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
And let's hear it. You can
That
take a
sounds
sip
like
of
a plan.
Yes.
I will have a sip of tea.
Yes.
And while you're sipping, one thing that caught me was what Howard Hughes said. Howard Hughes says, I'm going to be successful or I'm going to die. And you just said, do or die.
Yeah, it's that kind of story.
It's that kind of story. Wow.
And it's about defining success for myself.
Okay.
Yeah, it once upon a time was a typical success story. I needed a record deal, I needed this, I needed that. But success is a little different now. It's about nourishment,
Okay.
just doing it.
And
Yeah.
I love your outfit.
Well, this
Must
is
say-
Alexandra's Couture Collections,
Okay.
and she's absolutely wonderful.
Now, where is she located?
She will be soon at, I believe the address is 333 Macon.
Okay.
That's not a definite,
Okay.
but you could reach me and I can find her.
You wear it well.
Yes, you
and
can.
I'm dying to hear you.
Okay.
this is
My
good.
Family Valentine by
This is
Vicki
good.
Newsum.
My funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, you make me smile with my heart, with my heart. Your looks are laughable, unphotographable. Yet you're my favorite work of art. Is your figure less than great? Is your mouth when you open it to speak? Are you smart? Are you smart? Please, please don't change. Don't change your hair for me. Not if you care for me. Stay, little Valentine. Stay. Each day's Valentine Day. Baby, I thought thought it was infatuation, but it lasted so long. I found myself wanting to marry you and carry you home. My baby, you. Send me, baby. You send me, baby. Yeah, 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 you send me. I miss you, dear. Was infatuation, oh, but it lasted so long. I found myself wanting to marry you and carry you home. Wow, my baby, yeah. Send me, baby. Me, baby. Yeah, you see me. I next to you, dear. You do.
Vicki Newsum, thrilling us. Yes, she did.
Incredible.
She thrilled us. She sent us.
I'm feeling that. Oh, God.
That was wonderful. Woo. And we're going to continue on the jazz tip with Count Basie. And Count Basie was famous for having one of the best rhythm sections in the swing jazz era. Here is Count Basie and his rhythm section performing 20 minutes after 3.
We'll call it 20 minutes after 3 thing.
watching Producer Profile with Stell Winston and
I'm Jim Hill.
And we just had the pleasure of hearing Count Basie and the songbird Vicki Newsum, who is here on the show with us. And Vicki, you are getting ready to do something brand new, which is to write. And there was a certain event that happened in your life recently that sort of pushed you in that direction. Please share.
Absolutely. I had a date on April the 19th to perform at Jazz 966. And on the day before, the Thursday, April the 18th, I got a phone call that my mother passed. A very sudden death. She had a normal Thursday morning, her normal routine, and she came home and had a massive heart attack. So, of course, I went straight home to be with her. And when I returned, which was about 3 weeks later, Sam Penn at Jazz 96 gave me a new date. It was a real fun night. And I did some prayer and meditation one morning, and I asked that, I've really believed for a long time that there's a few songs in here to write about, and my imagination gets pretty wild sometimes. I even think a novel. Okay. But anywho, in prayer and meditation, I set to release the writer in me, and it was a great day.
Well, what do you want to tell the world? Okay, because there's something you want to say.
Well, there's probably a whole bunch of things I'd like to say.
But on that day, you wrote 3 different songs.
I wrote 3 different songs.
So what did you want to tell the world in those 3 songs?
Well, they were actually very playful songs. My mother is a barrel of fun, first of all. I mean, just a whole lot of fun. Everyone who speaks about her just talks about how much fun she is. And one of the songs that I wrote, it was just a lot of fun. It was a love affair, and it was, you know, the little kid love affair. You know, the first verse tells a story about being a little girl and meeting a little boy, and you know, so it was a fun song. So this was a story of your mother as a little girl? Not really, but it was just fun. Oh, okay. Fun. Like she is. It was just fun. It's a love song, but it just started off real fun. And probably what I would probably talk to the world about in song would be the relationships between men and women, making them stronger. And,
really?
Yeah.
What do you think about us men?
What do I think about you, man? I think you guys are fabulous.
All right, I'm with you.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And what do I think about us sisters? Fabulous. You know, and I think that the coexisting is really important, and I don't know.
This word love, okay, there's something about it, you know, that I know you got to tell us. You got to tell us about love.
Today?
She's going to give us the definition.
That would be in the novel.
Oh, that's the novel.
Yeah, that would be in the novel.
But in the song.
But in the song.
Does love have a place in your songs?
Absolutely.
Or, is it the hurt, or it's just the joy? Well,
I don't know that you can have one without the other. That's been my experience. I'd like to just have the joy, but I don't know that you can do that. It seems that...
So it's really the depth that makes the height?
Absolutely.
Oh. It's the so in other words, there has to be some pain with the joy. Otherwise, it's not love.
You can't just get to the...
You know, I don't really like that idea, but that's been my experience. It you know, it just doesn't come with a barrel of joy. It would be so nice.
Now, Vicki, you're...
Or maybe boring. I don't know.
Now, Vicki, you're getting ready to record your CD, and
I'm
it's
excited.
going to be with your own writing. That's huge.
I'm very excited about that. I'm going to go home in July.
Tennessee.
Memphis, Tennessee. Right. The first week that I'm there, I'll spend with my father. And the second week, I'm going to spend in the studio. I'll actually only record 3 original tunes and hopefully come up with some really nice arrangements for about 2 cover tunes. So I'm hoping to come back to Brooklyn on fire. Okay. And really excited about the work.
Let me flip a little.
Okay.
I want to just get to the business part of it, okay? Now, your reason or your intent on doing the writing, has that something to do with business and control, or it has to do with inspiration?
All three.
Really?
But it's probably, it's more to do, I guess, with inspiration. I've been one of those to shy away from the business aspects. I've never really dreamed of a lot of big business, big show business stuff. I just needed to sing, basically.
But they say when you write your own song, you write your own meal ticket.
Yeah, and so I think it might be a smart idea. Right?
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm thinking I might need to write just in case business starts to get.
Now, where can one hear you? Where can we go to hear you, Vicki, sing?
Well, I'm really hoping that very soon I could give you a list of places.
Okay.
But I'm going to be hanging out at the Aquaba House in Bed-Stuy.
And where is that located?
Lewis and McDonough. There's an open mic there on Wednesday nights.
Okay.
So that's going to be my hangout spot until the gigs start pouring in, and I'm trusting that they will. It's about trusting, and so I'm doing that. Yeah.
Okay, let's go to some of your experiences on the road. Could you share with us some of your experiences with the different musicians?
Yeah, well, early on, I worked with a group called River Sound. I would probably be 17, 18. And we did a hotel circuit, the lobbies at Holiday Inns, Roadway Inns, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Mississippi, right down the road from Memphis, Tennessee.
What was it like in the South?
That was, you know, actually I had some interesting experiences traveling with this band. There was myself and the drummer who were of African descent, and just us two. So it was pretty interesting, you know. I kind of laid down on the back seat just a little bit, you know, going into certain parts of Mississippi. And, but, you know, a lot of the struggle, a lot of fighting and struggling had already been paved for us, so it wasn't as much as it was in my head to deal with, but it was an okay experience.
Do you see the struggle? I mean, like you see, we went past racism for a while, but what about being a woman? I mean, is there any inequities that you have to face as a singer?
I don't know if there, well, I'm sure that the answer to that question could be yes in certain arenas.
Okay.
It would probably be about just the individuals that you work with,
Okay.
whether that's an issue or not. I find that as a vocalist, it's an easier communication for an audience. And so, you know, sometimes there may be a little back and forth struggle around that, but it all works out. I've been really blessed to be around some wonderful musicians who have been very warm to me, and I've tried to do the same. So.
I don't want to say anything stupid, but I want to ask, have you ever been exploited in the music business? You know, your talent?
I would say no, just because I haven't put myself out there to be.
Well, we've come to the end, Vicki, and we're looking forward to your CD. Okay, so when you come back from Memphis, Tennessee, we'll be looking for it. Yes. And if anyone wants to hear Vicki, you'll be at the Aquaba House, which is where?
It's at the corner of Lewis and McDonough, and it's actually an open mic on Wednesday. Okay. So there may be others who will be there too, but I'll be there.
Well, thank you for coming to Producer Profile.
Thank you for inviting me. This was very wonderful.
I'm Stella Winston.
And I'm Jim Hill.
And see you next time.